Hello there, my very good friends. On today's wrestling news, the real reason AEW has signed Ric Flair.
WWE misses out on a top signing.
Major change of plans for Survivor Series.
And CM Punk breaks his silence on Survivor Series rumours. I'm Adam Wilborn.
I don't know why I said that second story so weirdly, but let's get on with it.
I want to say WWE.
WWE.
This is the news.
We're going to kick things off by talking about AEW. They're using Ric Flair. He debuted on Dynamite. The WWE legend. I can't do wrestling news now all day. Right, so Ric Flair. Right, a lot of people talking about this this week. From two standpoints, mostly. From the standpoint of 16-time world champion. Well, more than that, really.
Oh, yeah.
His record books are silly. One of the greatest of all time. Sting's greatest rival.
Nice thing for Sting.
Yeah, all of that stuff. The other side of it is obviously the massive amount of allegations that this man has accrued throughout his career, which came at a time, obviously, like a week after Tony Khan's on Twitter going, Vince McMahon has allegations. Ric Flair shows that it's a bit hypocritical,
yes,
to say the least. But you want to know why AEW is booking Ric Flair? It's not just because he's good mates with Sting. And look, it does make sense from a storyline standpoint, right? Because he's probably going to betray him again, and that'll actually be quite funny.
Is it because he's going to dethrone MJF?
17-time world champion. So just so we can put another one between him and Charlotte.
Yeah.
Dave on Wrestling Observer, it's TV deal stuff. It's TV deal.
Yeah.
Like, AEW's TV deal is up for renewal this year. And in Dave's words, Tony Khan is AEW is trying to hotshot as many stars for ratings purposes because of the name value. Flair obviously would fit that bill as one of the biggest names in wrestling history. Meltzer noted that using names like Flair, who's 74, it risks aging your show up a little bit, which isn't always good, and it typically provides more of a short-term boost than a long-term boost. This week's Dynamite drew a horrendous number.
They didn't know it was Flair, to be fair. For that,
yeah.
But yes.
No, this is it. He wasn't advertised. Was there competition? I don't know. Who knows?
Yes, I think it was the first week of NBA stuff,
well,
possibly.
That would make sense then. Yes, that would make sense why the numbers
I'm
are down.
not really a basketball guy. Go Bucks, but not really that much of a basketball guy.
Go Magic. We sucked for about 10 years, but hey, green shoots perhaps. Paolo Banchero is tremendous. But yes, that's why it's TV rate. Dave noted as well that there was verbal deal in place previously in 2021, presumably for Flair to come in and manage Andrade. That's just kind of speculated.
Makes sense, that, yeah.
But he had a verbal deal with Tony Khan to come in, and then, of course, the Dark Side of the Ring episode aired, the shed light, or it didn't really shed light because these are allegations that have existed for a long time.
It just reminded it, brought back to the fore, didn't it? Yeah.
It brought it into public consciousness, particularly like among younger fans who maybe hadn't heard. Like, because quite disgustingly, in fact, the plane ride from hell over the years has become, those crazy wrestlers. Yeah. But no, you need to learn about the horrific stuff that Heidi Doyle allegedly went through and other people on this flight as well.
It was a different time, but it's still terrible.
Yeah, it's a disgusting time. And look, those aren't the only allegations that Ric Flair's been faced with in his career. I mean, wrestlers openly speak about certain things in interviews. There's a pretty nasty ass story in JR's blooming autobiography, so you don't have to. You can log on and just trip over this stuff. So look, I think that gives a pretty balanced appraisal of this entire situation. But that's why they're using him. TV's deals are up. Maybe they can think he can add some value.
I think it's a bit of a sad reflection on wrestling and kind of generally society that people go, oh my God, that's terrible. You should never be allowed to be, seen again. All right, we've had like a year gone now. Come on back. Yeah, come on. Hey.
It's how these wrestling, it's not just wrestling.
Not just wrestling, yeah.
Like the people making these decisions, 9 times out of 10 will be like, how much backlash are we going to get for this? And if they think the backlash is a little bit too high, they'll wait till it's gone down and use them again. It's like Hulk Hogan returning to WWE.
Yeah.
Right after all that stuff. They threw him out of the Hall of Fame, blah, 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 blah. They waited a few years. In their view, they were like, okay, that's cooled off. We can use him again. It's like, it's not a very moralistic decision-making process, to say the very least. I wish it wasn't that way, but it is that way.
Yeah. But yeah, it makes sense that they would do this, like you say, to pop ratings. I got into an argument with a few people on X last night because I saw Santana and Ortiz having the big blow-off on Rampage, and I was like, why wouldn't you put this on Dynamite or Collision? Any of it, all of it.
Well,
And people were like, well, he wants to make people watch Rampage. And I was like, thinking to myself, I think that ship's kind of sailed.
I think I'm with the arguers on that one,
Yeah,
brother. If
please.
you want to make people like watch a show,
It's one of those. I just think there's myself and many other people are like, yeah, now you got Collision. There's not going to be much that maybe go back.
You don't just give
Santana
up on
Ortiz,
something.
Santana and Ortiz are killing it. So fair play to them.
Yeah.
Right, let's move over and talk about the Fed because they missed out on a top signing, friend of the channel, in fact. Tama Tonga.
Dubious. He bloody hates us.
Occasionally, he did choke out Phil Chambers once when we were doing a live podcast in Las Vegas.
His dad tried to kill Simon Miller.
Tama Tonga is sticking with New Japan after contract talks with WWE. He revealed as much in a new interview with Fightful's Sean Ross Sapp. He'd spoken with WWE. He even rejected them, 7 years ago, I think?
10? Yeah, 7.
Yeah, something like that.
Numbers.
And there was interest from WWE in bringing not only Tama in, but his brother Tanga Loa, obviously Guerrillas of Destiny. But he's ended up signing with the King of Sports. He actually worked in New Japan without a contract for a short period. WWE were interested in Tama back in January when his contract was understood to be weeks away from expiring. But he's a loyal guy, Tama, and sometimes a good guy.
Sticking around, a good bad guy or a bad good guy.
Yes.
I always get confused. I get it the wrong way around. Yeah, I remember doing I think we aggregated the story about WWE interested in him at the time and stuff. He's the never weight champion. He's facing Shingo soon. That'll be good.
That'll kick ass.
Obviously, like, he's been with New Japan for so long. As soon as I think of New Japan, I'm like, hey, Tama Tonga. The tag title reign's never open weight right now, of course. He's babyface these days. He's no longer in Bullet Club.
Yeah.
That's like a whole new direction for him over the past year or so. So it's been cool watching him kind of expand his range and stuff.
Yeah.
Guerrillas of Destiny are obviously a very well-established tag team in that company now. Tanga Loa's obviously been in WWE before under various guises. So, I would be surprised if he left at this stage.
Yeah.
But, like, if the market leaders are dangling a carrot in front of you, you got to entertain it.
Exactly. And, fair play. He probably utilised this to negotiate a better deal for himself, which all wrestlers should do. And hopefully, just because he's in New Japan doesn't mean he's not going to be necessarily on American shores. Yeah. Relationship with AEW, you never know. And
now that he's a good guy, I want to see him shake someone from WhatCulture's hand. Let's just put all this behind us, Mr. Tonga.
Come on.
Let's do it. Come on. Big hug. Big hug. Who's hugging him? Simon, probably.
Yeah.
Because he's the best hugger. But
he'll swing with it.
Watch out. Anyway, let's move over.
I'd still have flashbacks if I was Simon.
Yeah, I'm actually quite glad I skipped the Bullet Club block party, in all honesty.
Quite a lot of other people where they got horrifically sunburned.
Yeah.
They refuse to accept, unlike me, we're white, so let's go in the shades.
Indeed. And if you're bald, put sunscreen on your bloody head. Or silly people.
Or if you're certain members of the WhatCulture is nearly bald. So.
Yeah, well, gotta watch out for that solar panel, brother. The little nest at the top.
Yeah?
Man.
We're shooting today.
We are. Just go bald gracefully, man. It's fine.
If you're bald or not, let us know in the comments.
Balds, stand up. Right. Change plans. Survivor Series, maybe. War Games, Raw versus SmackDown.
No.
Looks like Brand Warfare might be back on the table, baby.
No.
This isn't necessarily a guarantee that it's going to be the case, but let's just talk about this. WrestleVotes yesterday reported, regarding War Games, I'm told creative within WWE has gone back and forth for a while on the match for Survivor Series. Within the last few weeks, the thought was to keep the story only on the Raw side of things. But the sense from a source has now changed. Now, Dave Meltzer reported earlier this week, and he's not the only one, other outlets have reported this as well, that maybe War Games wasn't going to be Raw versus SmackDown, Brand Warfare, whatever. WrestleVotes here would put that back on the table. I guess it's still fluid because they haven't announced anything for Survivor. Obviously, they have the awful sports washing show to get through before that.
Is that next weekend?
Yeah, reprehensible. Well, that word, awful piece of garbage.
Yes.
Those shows, quite frankly, propaganda. $50 million every single time. Held hostage on a plane.
Yeah, they were.
Great. Survivor Series is in Rosemont. It's basically Chicago. It's like a suburb. It's a town near it.
Who else is from near there?
Well, the guy we're about to talk about, I guess.
Look, it's for me, it's right there. Yeah. You do Judgment Day / Bloodline teaming up against all the good guys. You don't need red versus blue. I really don't need it. And we'll get to more on this because there's a Twitter question.
Brand Warfare sucks. Yeah. And I'm totally over it. And I do hope that they do the obvious Raw storyline for this match.
I'll tell you who doesn't suck, and that's the Punker. He obviously...
It was his birthday yesterday. Happy birthday.
Was it? Happy birthday, Phil.
Or maybe the day before. But it's been his birthday this
Happy
week.
belated birthday. Obviously, huge amount of rumours correctly linking him to a Survivor Series return. It's happening. It's all a work if you think all the other stories. And when have I ever been wrong about that sort of thing, Andy? But he was on the Bernstein and Holmes show on Chicago 670, The School.
I love these American radio show names.
Asked about the Survivor Series and said, they're asking if I'm going to be there. I think it's sold out. I think tickets are hard to get. They like, They have sort of ridiculous amount of tickets. They've had to build new bits of stadium pretty much.
Yeah, I think they've just abandoned the idea of having a stage just so they can sell. And then look, hell yeah.
There's going to be a hole that they can walk through, and then it's going to look like the MSG entrance.
It's going to be a hot show.
Yeah, 15,000 tickets already sold. Goes down, of course, on Saturday, the 25th of November. On potentially working for WWE again, Andy, Punk stated, I don't want to burst anybody's bubble. I'm just kind of sitting at home and enjoying this beautiful Chicago weather. I have an injury in the family. Uh-oh. My dog, Larry, blew his dog ACL.
Larry took a bump, brother.
I like when he clarifies it's the dog ACL.
Yeah.
It would be worrying if he had a human ACL.
Yeah, Larry's got a human leg.
I'm literally just spending my time with him. I know that sounds crazy, but he is my son and I take care of him and treat him as such. Everything's kind of stopped. I'm fortunate to take time off from everything. I've cancelled things I have coming up. Travelling is hard. It's tough to leave him here with my wife, April, AJ Lee, of course. If there are two of us here taking care of him, it's easier. That's just nice.
Good dog dad.
Yeah.
Punk. Unlike that irresponsible trash bag Cody Rhodes. Remember that time Pharaoh in the fireworks?
Get out here!
I'm only joking. I'm sure Pharaoh is tremendously well looked after.
Good boy.
By the Rhodes family. I love all of this. What do you mean I'm going to be there? There's no tickets left. That's just funny.
Yeah.
And also, I'm glad to hear that he's caring for Larry. After Larry took a bump, that's a career-threatening injury for Larry there.
Never forget Dave Meltzer's running commentary on
Larry.
that.
Oh my God, yeah. The day after the fight, or the day of the fight.
The biggest news story, arguably, of the decade.
Dave Hopen's Wrestling Observer Radio commenting on Larry running down the ring. Class. Objectively hilarious. That's why I enjoy the works of the unique works of Dave Meltzer. This is just really fun, and obviously not for Larry, but he's right. Hey, if you're a dog owner, it's part of your family. You got to look after the pooches.
Get well soon, Larry, and remember, the whole CM Punk thing's a work, and he's definitely showing up at Survivor Series.
Let's Larry versus Pharaoh, brand warfare. Let's go.
They got Butch already in WWE. Let's not forget.
They surely do. Who else?
Big Dog.
The big dog, yeah, Roman Reigns. We could get bring in Harry Smith and B&B the British Bulldog Jr.
Yes.
Yep. There's probably loads more people with dog names in wrestling that we just.
There was a boar in NXT UK. Actually, there are quite a lot of boars in NXT UK. That's why they got shut down.
Black Taurus.
Sorry.
There's a wild boar.
Yeah.
He was in NXT UK. Yeah.
So we always use Twitter questions.
That took a second.
At
least they got a kid out of that warehouse.
Yeah.
Anyway.
YouTube community page. King BDB writes, good morning, gents. Do you think the brand supremacy gimmick would be better received if there were more at stake? For example, the winning brand of each Survivor Series tag team team is awarded the number 30 spot in the Rumble. Right, the reason why I picked this is something I genuinely want to say. I never want to know who the number 30 spot in the Rumble is. They did it a few years ago with it's like the mixed tag tournament, wasn't it? And it was like Mella and someone, R-Truth or something.
It was R-Truth, yeah.
And I was
like, that the year that he got beaten up by Nia Jax?
Yes, that was kind of awesome. I give you that. But I don't want to know this. I want to know a few people who are in the Rumble, but generally, I like the mystery of it all. I understand, however, some sort of reward, because otherwise what are we fighting for here with red versus blue?
There has to be something. There has to be some kind of consideration. Fighting for brand loyalty. It's like, who cares about the brand, man? Who gives a flying F?
Yeah.
It's like impossible to invest in nonsense, and it's better now, right, that the draft isn't just a few weeks before the show.
Yeah,
that was full nonsense. That was complete lunacy. But yeah, they need to do something. I agree with you on the Rumble spots. 30 should be a surprise most years, like 99% of years.
You could say, like, if you win the Survivor Series, you get 20 to 25. Let's say
you're in the final 10, something like that. But yeah. Give it something. If you're doing brand warfare, give it something. Maybe you can pick a wrestler from the roster and they join your show or something.
Or do the thing. Was that Survivor Series? What was the one where it was like Snitsky, Edge, Triple H, and someone else against like Maven, Benoit, Jericho, and that was like whoever won ran Raw for 4 weeks, and they all just set up title shots for themselves.
Stuff like that.
You get title shots basically. You run Raw because that's too complicated.
And don't make it something like if Raw loses, Adam Pearce has to dress up like a chicken.
Let's not throw completely everything away with that idea.
Quite like Adam Pearce to dress up like a chicken, actually.
He has to talk like a chicken as well.
There you go. Chicken noise.
Later on, stick around on Raw. Adam Pearce is going to lay an egg.
And inside it's like gobbledygooker.
It's coming back.
Yeah, she's back.
Robert Smith says, do you think AEW World's End is going to be MJF's end as champion? Ooh.
Yeah, it's an interestingly titled pay-per-view, and it's also a very interestingly positioned pay-per-view taking place in Long Island. It's also a very interestingly timed show, being that the bidding war of 2024 and all of that. So I think they're going to try and build the idea that MJF's contract is expiring. Whether he's renewed or not, who the heck knows at this stage. I think they're going to build to that idea that he could leave as champ. I think they're going to take the piss out of the Punk 2011 thing a little bit.
All that.
Hell yeah, that'd be fun. Needling is good. And I think that they're going to stack loads of defenses up for him in the road to it. I think that we're seeing that already. Kenny Omega's this week, just suddenly. The record's coming up. I wish they'd spent a couple more weeks with it, but I'm here for the match. Joe, that's going to happen. Obviously, we've got Jay White. There'll be more. Wardlow. Yeah, he wants a piece of him as well. So, and then they're going to build to the biggest match they can at the pay-per-view. I think he is going to win the belt there because I think he's already renewed. MJF is. I think he's going to retain at World's End. But I think they will play up the bidding war stuff going into 2024. I think he's going to win. He's going to leave with a belt. I think that he's going to be off TV for a couple months, maybe, and then they'll bring him back. And I think it'll be a great storyline. Yeah. Much better than this flipping brochacho stuff.
I do like the fact that they've recognised in AEW that MJF's by far the best thing they've got going there, other than Jeff Jarrett, obviously.
Well, Eddie Kingston.
Eddie Kingston kicks ass, but he's he's Ring of Honor, I suppose. And so they've gone, what angles should we book him in? And they've gone, everything. Bullet Club Gold, Acclaimed, Joe, Wardlow, Devil stuff.
There you go, Daddy Ass, he could wrestle him for the title.
Daddy Ass, who's now got super serious.
Yeah.
Stop dancing!
Yeah, stop scissoring, boys!
All right, what's wrong, Daddy Magic?
Your name is Daddy Ass.
I'm thinking of Daddy Magic, not
wrong
Daddy Ass.
Wrong Daddy.
Get him Daddy. There's a Daddy getting confused about other bloody Daddy.
Oh, bring back Big Daddy, yeah? Get him in the Observer Hall of Fame, eh? Anyway.
MJF's never lose the world title. Beetle Hawk gives us our final question. Oh, sorry, Beetle X Hawk.
Road Dogg, there's another one. Sorry.
How's that podcast working out over here? Beetle X Hawk.
Snoop Dogg, he can wrestle.
He can. Yeah. He can't hear splash, but he can wrestle. Good morning to whoever's in the studio. It's back to the OGs.
Yeah, sorry about yesterday. Why am I saying sorry? Like, they did a great job.
We just both had a day off. We just thought, you know what? Go to the beach.
We're buggering off.
We went surfing. catch you on the flip side, brother.
Point Break. There you go.
Adam's well versed in calling this out. Do you think Adam Cole's injury is a work? And he's the person behind the devil mask, and if so, who do you think the other 4 are without him?
It's not a work.
I've seen the picture of his, and I know, yes, you can get pictures of other people's dodgy ankles, but why would you do that right now? Arguably, it was the peak of their thing. Yeah. I know some people didn't like it, but it was the peak of why would you go, put that on ice for 6 months?
Yeah, I don't think it's a work at all. I understand it's wrestling. Someone thinks everything's a work.
If it was a work, wouldn't you have it be like, oh, Jay White broke his, Jay White smashed his ankle. You wouldn't go, I'll tell you what's a really good angle. He tweaks his ankle jumping off the stage and shatters it.
Yeah, there you go. It was there's just too much into this, right? If you go back to the stuff he was saying when he came back from the concussions and he was like, this is the worst period of my life. I woke up crying and all this stuff and this harrowing experience. Recently, he's been doing more media interviews where he's like, yeah, this is just as detrimental to my... I don't think he would exploit that. It would be a pretty cheap thing to do.
Good dude, Adam Cole.
He's a good guy. I think it's a work. The devil thing is obviously a work. The injury is not.
And who is the devil?
Who is the devil? Well, we're not going to give you
thousands of pounds we spent on this.
Hey, we need to get Ric Flair in this box now.
Bought Joe Linton's entire house, and this came with it.
Yeah, and his foot.
His
foot.
So we were picking this. This is our picks as the devil.
Club's owners are fond of separating body parts from the body that most of them allegedly. Right.
Who's the devil?
I looked at mine too early, so I need a new one, and it's actually quite good. So I want someone
So
silly.
this is our picks for who the devil is.
Yeah. Do you want to go first?
I'll go first.
Should we read it at the same time?
Yeah, I mean...
3, 2, 1, and then hit.
Yeah.
Right, let's go. 3, 2, 1, Dustin Rhodes.
Konosuke Takeshita.
Okay, that didn't work, but okay.
One more.
Yeah, let's try again.
I like Takeshita as the devil.
Let's go.
It kicks out all these kind of doing the evil stuff already.
What else have we got?
3.
He's not in AEW anymore. Sorry, Brock Anderson. Right. This is a disaster of a segment. What the flip are we doing? Okay.
Oh. Stu Grayson.
Stu Grayson. Mercedes Martinez again. All right.
Third time lucky.
Stu Grayson is the devil. I think that's
The devil is officially... Ha! Max Caster.
Fair enough. That fits the story somewhat.
You heard it here first.
There you go.
Let us know your thoughts on who is the devil in the comments. And mate, might check out this video whilst you're at it.
Peace.
Bye.